Next, we have our ward administrator, Mr. Mushiri. Is our next panelist.
Okay. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes. Very well.
Okay. My name is Samuel Mushiri. I'm the ward administrator Ongata Rongai. And today, first of all, I want to apologize because I was supposed to be in the panel, but unfortunately, I'm doing my classes. I'm doing my online classes. I've even just stepped out of class so that I can attend to this meeting. First of all, I want to congratulate you for this effort that you have taken, that even you have seen it possible for you to bring the youth together so that we can discuss about the welfare of our youths around here. So I want to take this opportunity to congratulate you and tell you that we are privileged to be part and parcel of you this particular day. So I want to take you through a journey. First of all, because I'm told that most of the people have been wondering, what is the role of a ward administrator? And today, particularly, I want to speak about that so that we can pick something and get home. I managed to, by the grace of God, that I was employed by the county of government of Kajiado late last year, early last year, that was on May, and that's when I became the ward administrator of Ongata Rongai. What are some of the responsibility that carries along with the position of the ward administrator? Number one, there is the MCA, and MCA is, when he goes to parliament, his main effort in parliament, he works as a legislator. And then when he legislates, he brings the money or anything that he has gotten from the county level. He brings it to my level, and after bringing it to my level, that is when I take the executive part of it. So my role, I usually give people a very, very simple explanation. My work as a ward administrator, I'm the watchman. I'm your caregiver. I'm the one who takes care of whatever the county government has empowered me to do it. What is that? We start from each and every department that is there in the county. Let's take, for example, there's the Department of Environment. Those are issues to deal with ensuring that our environment is clean. There's issue of garbage collection. Under it, there are many departments, but all of these departments, I'm the one to supersede and ensure that they work to the letter. There is the public health. We are talking about, like now, the frontliners. Yes, they are the frontliners, but when we get to the level of reporting, we'll find most of the times I'm the one who is supposed to go and report on their behalf. We have departments of education. We have a department of sports where most of the youth fall in. We have the departments of revenue. All these departments, all of them are under my docket. And what do I do? You have to respect each and every department which has heads. We have heads of department. But my main obligation and my main call is to ensure that there is smooth running. In terms of any challenges, I'm the one who is answerable. And today, because we are seated here with youths, even, and a good example is Philip, who is seated there. When there are programs, different programs, I'm the one who comes as a link to ensure that the different youth groups that are there, they are connected to the county level. Whom am I answerable to? At this level, I'm answerable to the sub-county. The sub-county is in charge of 5 wards. When we talk about Kajiado North, for example, there is Ngong, there is Ololua, there is Olkeri, there is Ngaimurunya, and there is Ongata Rongai. Under all of us, we are answerable to the sub-county administrator. But our position, as we are seated in our various offices, we are the representative of the governor. So if there is anything that the governor needs, it comes down to us. We are the ones who gives feedback. We are the ones who play that role of ensuring that the presence of the governor is felt on the ground. And today I want to continue urging the youths And I've been very, very vocal in this to ensure that they're comfortable in their different aspects of working. For example, when they need these permits, sometimes there is a challenge, or maybe for the youths, maybe they're coming up together, they want to do a cleanup, and sometimes they have a challenge of even paying that fee that is supposed to be paid there. I come as a link, I ensure that through my office, we write down a letter. I've always helped them, they write down a letter, and we forego those small fees to ensure that they can run well. Yes, this particular time, I know the youths are having questions, especially this time of COVID-19. They're asking themselves, what can we do? The other day, we had the Scouts Association of Kenya, and they contacted me, and they had come up, almost 20 of them, and they came to my office and asked me, what can we do as the Scouts Association of Kenya? I told them for this particular time, we are working on a constrained budget. But one thing that you guys can do, you can volunteer. And if you can volunteer, what we can do, you just come up with a small budget, even if it's facilitation of your transport, and even if it's lunch. And as the county government, we provided masks, and they came almost 3 days. We provided some masks to them, and they went there to the street. They gave it out to the people, and even not more than giving out. And this is what I want to carry today. This is what I want to request you. I want to request you that if possible, you ensure that at this particular time, if there is anything that you want to do, bring it on board. We can support you. We can ensure that we run together and ensure that everything works well. And this is for the common goal, or the common good. I'm ready to take any questions if there are any.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Samuel Mshiri. Say hi to Pauline. She's a friend of mine. I have.
Oh, that's my wife. Thank you.
Yeah, say hi to her.
Yes.
So I have 3 questions for you.
Okay.
I'll start with the last point that you've talked on, volunteering. So which?
Pardon?
You've talked on. You have spaces for youth volunteering.
Yes.
So my question is, which specific projects are they volunteering in? And are there qualifications for them to volunteer? Do you have qualifications for them? Or
Number one.
Any youth coming to volunteer? That's my first question. Then my second question, you are in the office of the MCA.
Yes.
Do you have any Sorry?
Not the office of the MCA, the office of the governor.
Oh, office of the governor. So does the office of the governor has any funds to support COVID, especially the youth? Do we have any funds in the office of the governor to support youth during this period of COVID?
Okay.
If there are, how can they access them? And what are the criteria that they're supposed to have to access these funds? And my last question, can you talk something about youth and public participation? We have an office of, I understand we have the office of public participation. Who is in charge? How can the youth get information about this office? And where are the office?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, let me just go. Number one, for clarity, I'm the ward administrator. Me and the MCA, we work in different offices. And as I began, I said the office of the MCA, their work is to legislate. And after legislating, they bring it to me. My offices executes in terms of ensuring that everything has been used to the letter. I'm the one to write a letter and say, the so-said contractor came to the grounds and he did what was supposed to happen. In terms of youth volunteering, I want this to be clear. I will categorize it in 2 categories. There are those maybe who are professionals, If you are a professional and you want to volunteer, it depends, especially in this line of COVID-19. If you are part and parcel of the health workers, you can come to my office. and I can connect you to the right department. Remember what I said there before, we work under departments. So when we work under departments, if you're a professional in terms of professionalism, you will come to my office and I will link you to the chief of officer, that is the CEO, and he can place you in the right place. Number two, maybe you just want to volunteer openly. Those, we really not need those, especially if it's a team. These are people that we can use them to go and educate the rest of the public in terms of awareness. Like now I've seen one of our health officers was there. She talked about sensitizing people. Like last week on Friday, the entire team, Kajiado response team, they had come to Ongata Rongai. And what we were doing, it was moving around, sensitizing people, telling people that these masks are not supposed to be put on the chin. These masks are supposed to be put for your safety. And let people not be seeing officers. And when they are seeing officers, that is when they wear a mask. So what do I want to say? If you want to volunteer in that line of sensitizing people, you can come as a group or as an individual, and we can fix you with the health departments, and you can help in terms of that sensitization, and I'm sure that is going to be productive. Number two, I want to talk about funds. Right now, to be honest enough, there's no funds that have been set aside, especially for the youth in terms of this fighting for COVID-19. But the other day, the county government managed to go under the umbrella of the county assembly. We managed to save some money, around 135 million, which was deducted from various things that were meant to be done this year. But right now, the key thing that we are working on is to ensure that our facility are into par. What do I mean? All the facilities that we are supposed to, when we get these cases of COVID-19, we want our facilities to be to par to the standard. For example, the other day we worked on Ole Kasasi Hospital, and today as we are talking, there's one health facility that is in Gataka. Because of the need that has been there, and you know the cases that we have found in the border, in Namanga border, you'll find that most of our hospitals are almost full to capacity. So what has happened, this money that was saved at this particular time, it has been taken to those departments. But nevertheless, it is never late. After maybe this meeting, I'll also try to continue engaging the county government under the Department of Youth and Sports, which is headed by is called Ncharo, and I'm sure we can pick it to another level. Number three, you talk about public participation. Public participation, there is no office at all that is particularly in charge of public participation. But my office, the office that I'm in, that it is my responsibility that when there is any public participation, I ensure that I call people. And I've been doing that. Philip there, Kina Brian can tell you that in each and every public participation, I've been trying to ensure that they are on board so that their issues can be there. And this is one thing that I want to stress. As we go to this almost July, when we'll be doing our public participation, I'll urge our youths to come out in big numbers. You know why? Numbers never lie. When we come for public participation, that is when we send message home. This is when we tell people that this is what is supposed to happen. This is what we are supposed to achieve. This is the roadmaps. For example, right now, I know there's a lot of complaints in terms of our sports facility, especially our stadiums. And when the youths come out there, you know, when we come for public participation, we are divided in different sectors. And when we are divided in these different sectors, we ensure that in these meetings, that is when we pass this message, and I'm sure this is going to be productive. About monies that have been said, we have what is called the youth funds. And this is youth funds, they usually come to help youths in terms of starting small business. Like last year, there are groups which were given. But today I want you to take this home. this money is never given to individuals. So what do I mean? If there is any group that wants these funds, you have to come up as a group and register your group. And if there's any team that has any challenge in terms of registration, you are welcome to my office. You don't need to go to Ngong. Just come with institution, the do's and the don'ts. And number three, come with minutes, the various minutes that you sat down and agreed that you want to register this. And then number four, come with a bank of your choice. The bank of your choice, which has the signatories. Ensure that you have the chairman, you have the secretary, you have the treasurer, and 2 members. When you have this, ensure that you come with this. Why do you do this? That when time comes for us to give this money to the youths, it is never given to an individual. It is going to be posted to that particular group. And also in part of your proposal, as you apply for those monies when they come out, you have to come and agree. What have you come up together? What do you want to do? Do you want to open a car wash? Do you want to open a shop? What kind of business? Do you want to buy a boda? You come up with something. Money cannot just be given blindly. You have to come and show cause why you people want this money. And I'm sure that is going to help us. So there are monies that are set aside. That is the youth funds. And I'm sure, and in due time, it's only that this corona thing came. In due time, we are going to get this money. And I'm sure it is going to help to be helpful to us.
Thank you, Mushiri. I think maybe we'll take a first round of questions from our audience, from a gentleman and from a gentle lady, just to Mushiri. Then we'll move to the next panelist, who is Eva. Take another first round of questions that way.
Okay.
So maybe our technical team, if there are a gentleman and a gentle lady who have questions for Mushiri, we can take them for now.
She's on. Halima Nyota. Halima. Are you hearing me, Halima?
When we come.
Hi guys.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, my question in regards to the opportunities available for young people to Mushiri.
Halima,
Yes.
it will be best if kindly you introduce yourself and tell us where you are calling from.
Okay, my name is Halima Nyota from Kakamega County, basically.
Thank you.
Okay, I was asking, I've listened to the conversation from Mr. Mushiri, and I wanted to ask in regards to the opportunities available for young people right now and maybe beyond post-COVID-19.
Yes.
I wanted to ask in regards to the access to government procurement opportunities, like we have the 30% rule. And I wish for him to explain like issues of issuing tenders to young people. How is the county government doing so that young people are not just used as to stamping for the procurement opportunities, but through this conversation, young people are going to be given opportunities to tendering opportunities. That was my question. I don't know if he can answer or not. And my second question, I joined in late. I'm sorry, guys. My second question is: right now, young people are not going to school, right?
Young people are not.
Young people, like most of young people are not going. It is in regards to the education sector. Sorry. Hello.
Yes. So what was your question?
My question is: right now, the government is giving requests on issues of e-learning platform.
Yes.
Like the government is saying that e-learning is going on, and the KICD is stating that learning is going on, and the policy implementers are saying that the exams are going to be set according to the curriculum that is going to be covered by, which is being covered by the KICD. How sure are we that young people who are not, how sure are we that young people, all of the young people who are learners are accessing the e-learning platform? There is my question to Mushiri. Now that he's a ward administrator, I'm sure he understands the level or the status of youth who are learners, and he can help us know if actually that our young people are accessing the e-learning.
Mr. Mushiri, you got the 2 questions from Halima.
I can still pardon if
of this team, we need to work towards ensuring that our information gets to our people.
Sorry,
For
Mr.
example,
Come again.
for example,
Sorry,
pardon?
you have to start again because by the time you are starting, you are on mute.
Okay.
Yeah, kindly.
Okay. I wanted, I'm saying there's something also which I forgot when we are starting. There's a message that I was supposed to pass, but we need to ask ourselves, and this team, and I'm sure the larger team needs to come up with a way of putting communication and sending messages where there is need. For example, there are some people who are going to be employed, and this is in regard with the presidential directive that was given, I think if I'm not wrong, it was on 6th April, about employment of people in line of hygiene. And like, for example, Ongata Rongai, I want to pick like, for example, Ongata Rongai, the different sublocation, they have been told to submit almost 15 names to the chief. And I'm sure, because I was in a certain page this morning, the communication sometimes does not get to the right people. But for the person, Alima, who has asked a question, these are opportunities which we need to ride on. These are opportunities which are meant for the youth, because this job purely goes to the youth, because one of the qualifications, they are not supposed to be more than 30 years. And these are people that are going to be employed very soon. Even for them, I'll say these are opportunities. And even if there's any youth that is around there, you need to go to your area chief and register, because there's some registration that is going on right now, in particular to the issue of the presidential directive. Number 2, the Constitution stipulates clearly, which without any fear of contradiction, that 30% of the tenders given out is supposed to be given to the youth. But my greatest question that I want to pose to you today, most of the times we cry that youths are not being helped. But my question, do they submit their tenders? Alima, as you are there, do you do it? Because sometimes you find even we call for the youth to come out and register. Do they do it? How many people do that tendering? And if there is any group that does that, they need to come out clear and voice their voice so that they can be heard. Because there's a time that the same question arose, and I asked some of my bosses, I asked my sub-county, but the question was, this tender was put in the national gazette, but did they apply? That is the question. But the Constitution stipulates clearly that 30% needs to go to the youth, and also there's a portion that is supposed to go to the PWDs. But it is up to us to pull up our socks to ensure that each and every time that these tenders are coming, let them apply, and if possible, they can even forward a copy to me, so that even when I'm talking, I'm not going to be talking in a blank state. If today you tell me to go to the procurement department, I'll just go there, ask them. They say nobody floated their tender. So for this platform that is here, let's ensure that we do that. About the issue of e-learning, I don't want to get to this because the other day, the CS of education, he came with a team. There is a team that has already been set, and this team is to ensure that all the considerations that are in regard with e-learning have been put in the table to ensure that everything goes smoothly. So I will not want to interfere with something that is on process, something that is going on. But one thing that I can say today, because most of the times I'm around in the field, I can say more than 50% or even 70 to 80, they cannot access the e-learning. That is for sure, So it's something that is a challenge, but I'm sure when these teams go around, we can be able to send our messages, we can be able to give our comments, but in reality, these things are not them. For example, right now I'm doing my BA in leadership and management. Most of the students today have been complaining. There's those bundles that were said that you'll be given for free learning, but we have tried to put them you to buy those data. It's not workable. So this is something even us like Tangaza University, where I am, we have already used our student leader to go and work towards this, because this is a challenge and I'm sure it affects many people. But after sitting down, because I'm part of the COVID-19 team, we saw this is a big challenge. Somebody has lost maybe a relative, somebody maybe has issues that are very, very wanting, and we have lowered this to a chief's level. You just go to your area chief, he will write a letter to you. But if you're going for a burial, ensure that you have carried the burial permit. If you have the burial permit, even if it's from far, let them scan it and send it to you. And you just come to your area chief, you'll be given a letter and you're good to go. And then about maybe issues of moving, like today, there's somebody who has gone to Nakuru. The mom was terribly sick. This thing is understandable. There's nothing that is cast on a stone. Come to the office, present yourself. If you have any kind of documentation, just bring it on, and you'll be allowed to move around. You remember even when the president was being asked, and not even, it was not the president, I think it was CS, he was being asked, what about when people have emergencies? He said, this thing is not cast in a stone. You can explain yourself and you'll be allowed to move out.
Thank you.
So do we have any from the audience, any person with a burning question? Someone, Mushiri?
I wanted to ask you a question.
Yeah. Mushiri,
Yes.
I hope you're still there. Brian has a question. Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Mr. Mushiri, yeah, this is a question and a concern. And probably maybe it
Okay.
may be very educative even for the youth, because again, as you had said before, that most of the youth have not been participating for reasons probably maybe with those who wish to know, and probably will be told from this forum why youth has not been participating as such. But last when I remember when we met at the social hall there, so there was a point whereby the MCA was speaking and was trying to contribute to the matters that were coming to the floor. And the moment the MC was starting up to speak, you would see a number of youths starting up and shouting and screaming and clapping for the MCA, all the issues that he was trying, for example, maybe to raise. On the other hand, when other people stand up to speak, or when they are given an opportunity to speak, there's no one probably maybe to contribute, and even at some point they will jeer some of the people who are participating or contributing to the matters that are being raised. And I saw this, if this is a trend probably that can be encouraged or that can be part of the public participation, then it's going to discourage so many people from being part of this public participation. And so my concern is probably maybe from your office or from the office of the public participation, even through the sub-county office and even the county office. I think you should have a mechanism, a methodology of how do we participate, how there should be a way of all probably going to air our views.
Okay, I have an answer towards this, and I'm sure this can help us in a way forward. Most of the times, those functions, they are filled with those maybe kelele mingi, people just raising up, talking the way they feel like they want to talk. The way forward for this, so that we can have a success of everything, when you see this thing is being gazetted, because it's usually is a constitutional obligation for it to be put in the newspaper. When you see this thing being put in the newspaper, before the D-Day, a team of the youth can sit down, come with their own proposal, write it let it be written down, and then that particular day of the public participation, you can just come and contribute. But in extent to that, give a copy to the public participation officers. Let them sign a copy, remain with a copy, and this can help in a follow-up. So that this can help just not letting it just fall in anyhowly. So that's my advice, that before coming to a public participation, let us ensure that we write it down. Let me give a good example. The other day, there's these lorries, our watu ambao wana travel na lorries. What they did, they had a complaint about the fee that they are being charged. When they saw this could not come through during the public participation, then they came for that particular function, but they came with their own proposal. You know, public participation is your proposal against the county's proposal. So write down, come up with something written down and present it. And then through this, you can even do a better follow-up, because public participation comes and goes. But within no time, a team of youth can come together and ask, whatever we proposed, where has it gotten to? Because you have all the chances, even if you are not going to be here, come to my office, we can call the relevant department, and we can even go and see Waziri of that particular group.
Thank you, Mr. Moshiri. Thank you so much for that suggestion, because you are talking to many youths. These are concerns sometimes that are also thrown onto our head. And so when you answer it now from the side of the government, that is very helpful. Another concern is when these public participation meetings take place, it's usually during weekly days, Monday to Friday. And you find that between Monday and Friday, most of the people are working, have gone to their jobs and such. So you find the people that are usually left in the villages or in the community are those people probably maybe are not working. The elderly people, and idlers, when they use the word idlers, most of them they are there. And there has been such a concern where we've been challenged as the CSOs and such, that is it possible for the government probably to consider maybe to have these public participations on weekends, Saturday and Sundays? They just set aside some 2-3 hours whereby you can have we also can have professionals attending these forums. Because you find, like, for example, most of the people who are attending those public participation meetings, mostly they are not those people who can contribute much sensible issues and matters that are affecting the community. Because like, when you bring about the physical language, or probably maybe the budget cycle of the county, and you tell them, like, for example, you are budgeting 33 million per ward, and this 33 million per ward will go to specific projects. These people probably might not even be able to know the social auditing mechanism. So it becomes a bit difficult for those people. So if you ask them, most of them, what happened, even what was discussed, it becomes a challenge. So I don't know, from your office, and probably maybe moving higher to the higher authorities there, or probably you can also address that. And again, also moving the same, having, like, for example, those reports, those communications of the public participation meetings, probably maybe shared through churches, through religious organizations, because sometimes you wonder, how are those communications made? Because not all people can access the daily media and the magazines there. So if it would be possible, probably to have that communicates through churches and such organizations. Thank you.
Okay. To sum it up, I want to say this, my brother Brian, It's important for us now as a way forward. Yes, we can suggest that about weekends, but for this to be success, sometimes it's not about the number. Let's ensure that in each and every public participation, there's the representation. What do I mean? For example, if it's the youth, it's not a must we come 50 people. Let us, through these forums that you people are creating, let us come up with a team that when we are working at this public participation there, yes, some of us maybe, some of the people may be working, but let us have representation. Let's ensure that in each and every forum, there is well represented. I give a good example. This public participation, that's why unaona hawa wazee wanafaulu. They use the nyumba kumi leaders. You find the nyumba kumi, when he comes there, he comes him and maybe two other, and they write their agendas. Ndio unakuta zetu hizo za youth na wengine zote zinapotelea. Inapotelea kwa sababu wale watu wamejipanga in such a way. So even for us, let's ensure we can sell. I can sell that about weekends. I can sell that about Saturday and Sunday because it falls in my office. But for in future, let us have good representation. That when we are coming to this meeting, let us speak one voice. Why am I saying so? You will find the youth of Ngong speaking different from the youth of Ongata Rongai. So youth from East speaking their own thing. We can set it in such a way that if it's a youth from Kajiado North, let us speak one voice. Kwa sababu mkikuja mnaongea hii na wale wengine wanaongea different, at the end of the day we are not going to succeed. Let us zeroize it, that if it's issues of Rongai, we have one person who speaks one voice, rather than maybe Philip anasimama kivyake, Slasha anasimama kivyake, kina Minju wanasimama kivyao. So we are not going to sell that thing because kila mtu you look confused. But when you have something structured, something documented, that when you are standing, you are saying, I'm not standing here as a youth of Ongata Rongai only. I'm standing here on behalf of the youth of Kajiado North. I'm standing here on behalf of the entire youth of the Kajiado County at large. That will help us, and it will make even our voice be heard. Wacha to avoid kugawanyishwa, kwa sababu tukigawanishwa hatutaweza kusimama na msimamo mmoja. And also we need a checklist in this way, that when we have sent this proposal, there is a time that they usually come again in a public participation to bring what was discussed and what was picked. Let us have those follow-ups so that it does not flop on the way, and this will be very helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bashiri.
There's a guy who has a burning question. A youth from Gong is called Brian Munene.
Brian Monena, I know Brian, yes.
Anasema, how do youth take public participation?
Pardon?
How do youth take public participation regularly?
Regularly.
Yeah.
I think what we can do as the way forward, because I'm sure that we can have many meetings. Let us even remove the word public participation. Let us be thinking about particular times that we can work and meet the different departments. This is something workable. Tell me today the youths have come up together and they want to meet a certain leader. For example, if it's issues of sports, let us put it as something that is done regularly. Let us not be waiting for the public participation. For Brian, what I'll tell Brian Monene from Gong, what I'll tell him, let us be bringing our youths together. The other day, I met with these karate people, and I told them, you guys organize yourself. You have been complaining nobody supports you. Come up together. Tell me, I can organize in such a way that the CECM of youth and sports will come and meet you, so that we don't just wait for that particular one meeting. Let us be coming up together. And even next time, I'll request, even if you guys want, in the next panel, if you want any person from the county government, I think we can bring him along, and he can come and sit there, and people can ask him questions. So let us not just be waiting for that particular public participation, but we can create more forums and we can even zero it in different wards. Wards, or maybe even if it's west, because I know others are listening from outside north, we can be organizing in such a way that we can move and send our agendas home. Because sometimes we say we have not been helped, but the problem is, have we brought forth the things that we need it be done to us?
Mine actually was to the ordered me.
John, start by
Yes.
introduction and the location you are calling from, kindly.
My name is John Henry.
Yeah.
I'm calling from the famous Olekasasi. I work at one of the local universities in Kajiado. And thank you for inviting me to this. I just wanted to maybe pass some idea now that we don't know when this COVID is going to get out of this place, to the county government with the public participation. I believe, or I tend to think, that we've not held any since for the last 3 months because of the curfew and the what is happening, the cessation, and also the gathering controls. So we also need not to stick on the traditional means of getting hold of people's views in public participation. Why can't we also try and think, and this is an opportunity, by the way, in which we can also include more youth, like the way we've brought people together. Can we try and embrace technology in getting views of the youth who may not be able to make it into your meetings, physical meetings, or even through the leaders? For example, in such a, you can do as a Zoom meeting or an online meeting with youth leaders from different places, so that you get views in one way or another. Maybe you can do an emailing thing. You give an email so that people can be giving views. For example, what NEMA does when they have proposed projects, you can email and get people's views. Yes, so I think also it is good what you guys are doing, and I'm glad for that. But also try and think of people who may not be able to make it to the physical meetings. You may also try to think about technology on how you can include them into this. And also the issue with Ongata Rongai, I think we tend to be the bedroom, Ongata Rongai and Ngong, to be the bedroom of Nairobi. I don't know what the county is doing about the revenue allocation, because we tend to be the ones who generate more, who give more to the county government, but most of it goes to Kajiado town or those other regions. I know there should be balancing, but also remember the services also should be rendered to the guys who give you more of this. So I think also you should work with the MCA and see on ways in which we can make our lives easier. It's very sad that you work and stay in Rongai, or you stay in Rongai but you don't have a sewer system, surely. Okay, so that's just ways in which I'm thinking. And also check on the drug abuse, being that we host a lot of local learning institutions around with the youth idle. So the issue of drug should also be checked on, what the nurse talked about. So thank you so much. Maybe Mishiri, you can talk about the involvement using technology.
Mushiri, but just before Mushiri responds to that, do we have any other person from the audience who has a question for Susan or to Austin? Do we have any person from the audience who has a question for Mushiri, for Austin and Susan? If not, then I think Mushiri can respond to that.
Guys, we are moving on well. So actually there is an audio. We wanted you to listen to it, just kidogo. Then when we come back immediately, now we are going to maybe finalize everything. Yeah, and finalize. So Mushiri, kindly come back on air, respond, then we put that small video at least for people to hear. Thank you. Mushiri?
Okay. Thank you so much. We take it positively. Number one, he has talked about us thinking about where we can be sending our messages. Let me, what I'm thinking today, which I'm sure you guys can know how it can get to the people. Philip and Brian, you can look or you can check on me by Monday. Let me get a county email so that we can have even a way that we can be sending our messages direct to the people in charge. So I will look for, I'll request for an email, and then on Monday, I'll give it out so that issues that pertains the youth, it can go directly to Waziri. Because as the speaker was there before, he has said that at this particular time, because we have not met for several months, it will take some time for us to get back to this normal meeting. But if we have a channel that we can send our messages, I'm sure they'll get them. And also I'll furnish you with my email so that if there's any issue, I'm always there to help you. I'm always there to work to ensuring that youths are comfortable. And if you have any kind of activity today that you feel that you are not being helped at any capacity, just come along. I may not have the solution, but I can give you a way forward. And I'm sure this is going to help. About allocation of money, that is something that maybe it can be discussed in another level. Because when you talk about, for example, Kajiado North giving a lot of revenue compared to somewhere like West, those are things that cannot be handled at our level. It is up to us to pick it and take it to the MCA, because the MCAs are the ones who go to their parliament and discuss about allocation of money. About post-COVID, things that we can do after post-COVID, this is something that we need to sit down and see the way forward. But for me, one advice that I'm going to give the youth today, and which I'm going to leave to you, let's ensure that before even post-COVID, if you are 2, 3, 5 people, register a group. Because even if I get any support today, I cannot give you as an individual. Ensure that we are ready so that we wait for those opportunities that may come on the way. And I'm sure after this meeting, also, I'm not going to take it for granted. I'm going to write a report and give in regard to this particular meeting. Thank you. So much.